Alright, so welcome to this video where I will show you how to sign up and configure the free Amazon VPS. Now, before we get into the practical part of this video, I wanted to cover a few things just to make sure that you understand what a VPS is and can actually benefit from using one. Okay, the last thing I would want is for you to go through this tutorial only to find out that you don't really need a VPS. Okay, so let's get started. The biggest part of this video is obviously going to be the step-by-step tutorial where I show you everything start to finish. But before that, I wanted to cover what a VPS actually is in an easy to understand manner. Even if you're not a tech person, you will understand what it is. Then you might say, okay, I understand what it is, but why should I use one? What are the benefits? I will show you that as well. And I will make some suggestions, recommendations in regards to software that you can install on a VPS that will automate parts of your business, because once you've reached a certain point, you will have to automate certain tasks to take your business to the next level. A few considerations when thinking about using a VPS. The limitations of this offer. Yes, it's a fully functional VPS that you get here, but there are some limitations in regards to computing power. And lastly, the prerequisites, what you need to sign up for a Amazon VPS, like a credit card, phone number, etc. All right. So what is a VPS? VPS stands for Virtual Private Server, and the best way to understand what it is by thinking of an actual computer. So this is your computer. Let's just say you have another computer maybe you have a different home in another city or in your office. And what you can do is use a tool that's built into Windows and Mac as well, called Remote Desktop Connection. And that tool allows you through the internet to connect from your computer to another computer, okay? And that's basically a VPS. A VPS is just a remote computer, a computer at a remote location, except that there's no monitor, okay? It's just a machine. That's pretty much it. It's oftentimes an entire data center where there's like hundreds of them, okay? And then the company rents them out for, let's just say, $7.95 a month or whatever the price may be, okay? Now, this is not a fully accurate technical explanation in regards to what a VPS is. It's just for you to understand and grasp, okay, what is a VPS? And when you think of a VPS in terms of a computer, you will also understand how you can use it. You can browse the web on it, you can install software, okay, just like your regular computer. Now, what are the benefits? Now, obviously, if you replace an actual physical computer by using a VPS, you can install software that runs 24/7. On your personal computer, if you want a program to run around the clock, you can never turn off your machine, okay? So that's one of the benefits. Also scalable. Let's just say your personal computer, you might watch this video from your personal computer right now. Let's just say you have 1 terabyte storage space. If you need more, you need to buy more storage space. You need to order it online or go to the shop. With a VPS, you can quickly upgrade any element of that machine in just a few clicks, whether that's CPU, RAM, storage space, etc. Another benefit, no physical space required, so you can have an unlimited number of VPS machines, but if you were to buy an actual computer, a physical computer, you would need physical space in your office or your home, wherever that might be. Now you can run tools, you can also host websites on a VPS, not really recommended for beginners, it's a little bit more advanced, but installing automation tools, certainly possible for a beginner. Shared workspace, that means the VPS that you have, anybody else can access that as well if you provide the IP address, the password, and the login. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you have a freelancer or business partner that also needs to work on that same computer, very easy. Whereas if it were your personal computer, your work would be interrupted, or it would be more complicated to set everything up due to security restrictions, etc. And lastly, it's a tiny investment, okay? You can get started $7.95. You can see, okay, do I really need one? What are the benefits? Like, is a VPS really for me? Whereas if you were to go out and buy an actual computer, it would be more of an investment and would cost a couple $100. Now let's talk about some automation tools that I am using myself or have used in the past. I have a video on my channel where I talk about follow likers, social media automation, Instagram, and has been doing its job for months now, okay? I never actually turn it off. Always running and doing and executing the tasks. Market Samurai, if you do SEO and you need to do keyword research, you can enter the different search phrases, and then just let it work in the background and check back a few hours later. Same applies to Scrapebox, which is an SEO tool. And basically any tool or for any purpose where a program or you yourself need to be online 24/7, you can. Now what I want to convey here is that sometimes it pays off using a VPS over an actual physical machine that you will buy and put in your office or your home for the following reasons, okay? If you buy an actual computer, there will be electricity costs. There will be wear and tear, so you might spend a couple $100 on a computer, but as time goes on, it will be less valuable. Then you will need to get software licenses, you know, especially if you run a business, you need to buy the actual licenses. And lastly, remote control takes way more time to set everything up, especially if you have a person from the outside, not within your network. Getting that person to work on that computer, you know, more complicated than just using a VPS. Okay, so those are just a few considerations. If you say, okay, after this 1 year is over, where I can use the free Amazon VPS, I don't really want to pay for a VPS. These are a few things to keep in mind why it might make sense to pay 10 or 20 bucks, and it will still be cheaper than the alternative. Okay, so before we get started, let's cover the limitations so you know what you're signing up for. It's free, but there will be no support. So when you know that you will need support from time to time, then I recommend maybe don't choose the free Amazon VPS, choose another VPS that is maybe 10 or 20 bucks a month, where you can then, you know, submit tickets and instantly within a few hours somebody is there to help you or assist you if you have questions. But feel free to try it out and see if the Amazon VPS works for you. You pay by the hour. After 12 months, of course, you will be charged, and it's not that cheap. Limited computing power. So the tools I have mentioned, automation tools, perfectly fine. You can do all of that. But if you require more computing power, let's just say video rendering, or you want to have 5 or 6 automation tools at the same time up and running, then, you know, Amazon VPS isn't really for you, at least not the free plan. And lastly, there's limited storage and bandwidth. If you need more, you need to pay, okay? So keep those things in mind and then decide whether you want to give it a try or not. And lastly, the prerequisites, what you need to prepare before you go through these steps, before you follow along with the tutorial. Number one, we need to sign up for an Amazon account. I'm guessing you have one already, but if not, you know, you can sign up for a new account. Then you will need a credit or debit card, a phone number. And what I do here is I actually have a spreadsheet where I have, okay, this debit card is linked to that phone number and it's used for example, this specific Amazon account, this specific Instagram account, this specific Facebook account. And then I get a new prepaid debit card and it's used for a number of different sites, and I track it all in a spreadsheet. So this is something you can do as well. Now, in theory, it's possible to sign up for an unlimited number of free Amazon VPS, but you will have to do it through different accounts, and that is against Amazon's terms. So you cannot sign up for multiple accounts, but should you still decide to do so, you will need virtual private network. It costs a couple bucks a month. All right, so that is it. Let's get started with the practical part of this video. Okay, to sign up for the free Amazon VPS, you have to go to aws.amazon.com and you will see this page. You get a general overview of the products that they offer. So first I would recommend you go to pricing. And then you click on free tier. And then you will see all the details of that free tier program, what it allows you to do. So we're going to set up a Amazon EC2, and we have 50 hours per month, which is an entire month, 24/7. So as it says here, it's 12 months for free, and certain additions to the product are always free. So to sign up, you click here, create account, and once you've created your account, which I will show you how to do that, you click sign in using your login details, okay? Okay, the process is pretty straightforward. You just enter your email address here. Then you select new user because we're going to create a new account, and sign in and continue. This is where you enter your name, email address, and Actually, email address, you need to type it in twice. Create account. Now this is the part where you will need to fill out additional information, and in just a second. Okay, first I always select personal account, fill out my name. Finally, tick the checkbox here, and then click create account and continue. Now this is where you would need to enter your debit card. Can be a prepaid credit card as well. I always use a prepaid debit card. Click continue. This is where you will need your phone number or a prepaid SIM card to do the phone verification. Then click call me now. You should get a PIN. In a second that you will enter on your phone. So a 4-digit PIN that you need to enter. And then it will automatically say verified once you've entered that PIN on your phone. Okay, great, we're done. Great. Now we continue and select the plan. I'm going to select the free plan that you will see in a second. Click continue. The basic plan basically that is included. And that's it. Now we're pretty much done and we can log into the console, okay? You click sign in using your login details, okay? So once you've signed up and you're logged into the console, we have to go to services, EC2. And before we continue, so the next step will be launching an instance. This is where we set everything up. But before we continue, something you can select here is the location of that VPS. Okay, so depending on your business requirements, you might want to have your VPS in the EU or Asia Pacific area, South America. It doesn't really matter. The process is the same, but something you can fine tune if you want to. Okay. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to select, let's just say Tokyo. Okay. It takes a few seconds. Okay, and then just follow along. We're going to launch an instance. Now these are the different operating systems that will automatically be installed on the machine. So you have Windows, you have Linux, for example, a Linux version here, Ubuntu. But since we're using the free tier, we select this option here, free tier, and we're going to use Windows 2016 base. Okay, so you will have Windows on that machine installed. It's slightly different than the version that you might be using on your personal computer because it's a server version. But in regards to the programs that you run and everything else, not much of a difference. Okay, we select here. The free tier is selected already, so we can go and click review and launch. And then we click launch as well. So here we're going to select create a new pair. And then we'll just give it a name. Let's just say Forge Mastery Tutorial. And then click download. Okay, you can see it's downloaded here already. And then we click launch instances. And now it's creating that VPS, okay, that server in the background. It says instances are now launching. And now we can actually look at the VPS. And we can see, okay, that machine, that computer is being initialized right now, okay? We see it's still pending. Still loading here. We see the IP address here that we will later need to actually connect to it using the password and username. Monitoring disabled. This is the key name. So we'll check back in a few minutes and continue the tutorial when this has finished. Okay, so as you can see, it has turned green and it says running. So what we can do now is click connect. And now we can actually say, okay, we download a file that we then have on our desktop that we can click on and automatically connect to that machine. So we're going to do that. Just click on it. It will download a file. Will be on our desktop. And to get the password, okay, so we can see now this will be the username that we use to log in. Just a few moments. The password, we can generate that now but we need to wait a few minutes. So we've clicked now that it will be generated. We have to check back in a few minutes. And then we click here, decrypt password. And now this is the password that we use for our remote desktop connection. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We can close this here and we can go now to our desktop and open the remote desktop connection. Okay, so remember just a few moments ago we downloaded two different files. The first one was for the passphrase, for the password, and the second one is the one that we're using right now, which is the file for the remote desktop connection. So once we click on this, we're going to connect to that computer that we've just set up, the free Amazon VPS. So double click. We can click here. Don't ask me again. Here, the details. You can deselect the printers. This will be for copy and paste. So whenever you want to copy a file from your personal computer to the VPS, you'll need to check this, and then we'll click connect. And now it's asking for the password, so copy and paste the password that you have seen before. You can click remember, and then you click OK. And now, again, don't ask me again, yes. Now we're connecting to that machine and it will actually be started for the very first time, okay? It's configuring the connection, and this is the machine. This is the computer that we have just set up now. As you can see, it's starting, logging in, administrator, applying all the changes. So yeah, this is it. This is the machine. This is the new computer that you can now use to install programs, to run programs, to anything you want, pretty much that I've covered before. Here are the details for your machine, IP address, total memory, etc. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Will look slightly different, so some of the menu entries are slightly different to the version of Windows that you might use on your personal computer, because this is a Windows server, as you can see here. But you don't need to do anything here, to be honest. Just install the software that you want to use. You can install Firefox or Chrome if you want to, and that's pretty much it. In that window you can minimize as well, and then you're here back at your personal computer, and this window is the VPS. All right. So when you first access your VPS, there are two things that I recommend you do, or actually three things depending on your preferences. As you can see, this is the VPS that I'm using already, where I have FollowLiker installed and actually up and running right here. I recommend you open Internet Explorer, and you will get security messages all the time that are really annoying. So what you can do is go, for example, to YouTube, and right away you can get Chrome and download it. So these are the messages that you will get all the time if you use Internet Explorer, and you have to manually add each site to be allowed and trusted. So add, close, and that's a really tiresome process. You have to do that for every single site. Add, close, add. So that's why I would recommend you download Chrome, or as you can see here, I'm already using the Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, and then you install it. And the second thing I would recommend is this little tool here, CCleaner. You can install that as well. And the second thing is, if you need any type of information about this specific machine, then you go to this PC and you see everything, okay? Any type of program that you download needs to be 64-bit to work on this machine. And again, this is Windows Server 2016. This was a tutorial that showed you how to set up a free Amazon VPS. Any questions, post it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.